Hello and welcome to a demonstration of HUD's HCV HAP set-aside and special fees application process that uses DocuSign for all 2025 application submissions. Specifically, we will go over how to submit HAP set-aside funding applications for Category 4, project-based vouchers, and Category 5, MTW expansion PHA's development adjustment. We are beginning this process in the DocuSign instructions, and a link to these instructions can be found within various footnotes of the 2025 HCV funding notice. Please read the instructions thoroughly to be familiar with the required process, and you will find links for all applications on page 14 of the document. The DocuSign instructions also include links within the table of contents that allow you to jump to the section of the document that you're interested in reading. Let's go to page 14. The first application we're going to demonstrate for you is the Category 4 Project-Based Vouchers application. This application is for PHAs requesting set-aside funding for their PBV projects. Please note that PHAs must submit one application per applicable project and attach the required documents to the matching project application. Please refer to the HAP set-aside section of the funding notice, section 4B, for category-specific requirements. To get started, we're going to click on the link here, and then we'll click OK. And that will take us to the PHA contact form. Before filling out the PHA contact form, please read the instructions at the top. Once you're ready to fill out the form, you'll be entering full names and email addresses for yourself as the PHA staff and also for the executive director. Once I've confirmed that the PHA staff and executive director full names and email addresses are accurate, I'm going to hit the button to begin signing. And this will open up the electronic form. Before filling out the form, you'll be asked to click the Continue button, and first-time DocuSign users will have a checkbox requiring them to agree to use electronic records and signatures. Hit Continue. Each electronic form contains fields, some of which are required, and some of which may be optional. You'll also notice that some fields have been pre-populated with PHA contact information that you provided in the form. Just hover your cursor over each field to determine if it's required or optional, and to get some additional tips on how to fill out the field. Please note that required fields will have a red border around them. Now I'm going to go ahead and fill out the fields on the form, and when I'm finished completing all the required fields, you'll see that a button to finish the form will illuminate. This is a drop-down field. You'll have limited choices about what you can select. I'm going to select New Construction. This form requires PHAs to attach supporting documentation to the application before submitting to HUD, and there's a special field for attaching documents. Now, just a few quick notes on attachments. Please take a moment to check your file name and make sure there are not any special characters. A plus sign, dollar sign, ampersand, or asterisk will make processing your application more difficult for our review team. Also, please note all documents attached to the applications will be converted to PDF format upon submission, so please ensure document formatting is properly in place prior to attaching them to the application. For example, Excel documents should be properly formatted to fit the page before being attached, so no data is cut off upon submission. And you can preview the document once it uploads to confirm. However, once an attachment is uploaded, it cannot be removed or edited. You would have to start, complete, and submit a new application form to replace the unwanted attachment. So please make sure the documents you plan to attach are ready to be attached and are the documents you intend to attach. For this demonstration, I'm going to upload a HAP contract. So I'll click on the attachment field, click the button to upload a file. I'll browse out to where my document or documents are, and I'll click to select it. I can hold down the control key to select multiple documents to attach, but in this case, I'm just going to pick the HAP contract. Click Open. And you'll see that my file has attached. If I want to upload more files, I'll click that button. Otherwise, I'll click Done. Now I'll navigate through the rest of the form and complete the required fields. My first stop is at the PBV unit count details, and you can see that these fields are required because they have a border in red. So I will complete all the fields here. I can use my Tab key to move to the next field and type into it. And then I'll move on to the PBV cost details. And this is a table where you can enter your unit information by bedroom size. So I will start with 0 bedrooms and start entering information. And you can see once I've completed the first line, DocuSign opens up another line if I have additional bedroom sizes. And I'll keep going here with 1 bedrooms. And we'll say that there are another bedroom size, 3 bedroom, that I'll enter. And if I had more bedroom sizes, I would enter them, but I'm going to stop with these. There's a place to enter an optional comment if you wish. And the final required field is to enter a phone number for the contact. And you see that once I've completed all the required fields in the form, that I get a Finish button where I can complete the form, and I'll do that. Click Finish. You'll be given the opportunity to save a copy of your document. You can print it out or download. In this case, I'm just going to go ahead and close it. DocuSign will present you with the form completed, and you can review it, scroll through it, and make sure all the data is correct. And you can see that the attached form is on it. If I don't need to do anything with the form, I'll go ahead and click Close. And I receive a confirmation that the agreement has been signed successfully. The PHA staff's tasks are now completed, and it's time for the Executive Director to act on the form and submit it to HUD. Once the PHA staff clicks the Finish button, DocuSign will automatically send the Executive Director an email notification inviting them to complete the form. Please be aware that if you're acting as both the PHA staff and Executive Director roles for this submission process, you will receive automated email notifications from DocuSign for both signing roles. Now I'll demonstrate how the Executive Director will access, complete, and submit the electronic form. First, I'll browse out to my email inbox, and I see that there's a notification waiting for me to complete the form. When I look in the body of the email, I see a hyperlink here to review documents, and I'm going to go ahead and click it to launch the electronic form. Again, I'm presented with an information page here, and I'll click Continue. I'm also given a notification that another recipient has made changes to some shared fields in the document, and those fields are highlighted for my notification review. And any fields highlighted in red are editable, and the executive director can change them if needed. All of the data entered by the PHA staff is correct, so I'm going to continue scrolling through the form and see what additional fields I need to complete. The first one I see is an optional attachment field. So if I need to upload additional supporting documentation, I can do so. I can also scroll to the end of the form and confirm what the PHA staff uploaded to make sure that that's correct and accurate. So I'm going to skip the attachment field here. I'm not going to make any corrections to any of these existing fields that have been completed. And the only things that I will need to do are to check the certification box, which is required, and then click in the signature field to apply a signature to it. I'm going to use a save signature, but you can adopt a new one. You can sign freeform, you can use an image, or you can use this font. So I'm just going to use the saved one. And my responsibility as the executive director is finished. So now I will click the finish button to complete the form and submit it to HUD. I'm presented with the option to save a copy of my document. I can print it out or download it, but I'm just going to close. I'm presented with the finished document with all fields completed, as well as the electronic signature and any other fields required for the executive director. So I'm going to go ahead and close. And I get a message from DocuSign that the agreement has been signed successfully. Once the PHA staff and executive director have completed their tasks, DocuSign will automatically send both parties a copy of a completed notification, as well as their documents being attached as PDF. So you can see here an example of the confirmation email that you'll receive once you've completed your form. It'll indicate that your document has been completed, and PDF of the application and any supporting documents attached to the application will be attached to the email notification. Now we're going to demonstrate the Category 4 MTW Expansion PHA's Development Adjustment application. This application is for MTW expansion PHAs that can demonstrate a need for adjustment funding. Please refer to the HAP set-aside section 4B of the notice for category-specific requirements. Again, to get started, we'll go back to our instructional document, and we're going to click on the link for the MTW expansion PHA's development adjustment, and click OK. And the screen where I enter the PHA contact information pops up. I'll go ahead and enter the PHA contact information now. And hit the button to begin signing. I'm presented with the requirement to use electronic records and signatures, so I'll click the box and hit continue. Acting as the PHA staff, I'll complete the form fields. This application has a required attachment field as well as guidance about the documents to be uploaded in order to fulfill the requirement. So I will go ahead and upload my required documents. And you can see that they have both attached, so I'll click Done. The next fields ask a PHA to indicate how many projects are being submitted for this adjustment. And it gives you some examples of how to put this if you're submitting multiple projects. In this case, I'm just going to be submitting one, so I'll put one of one. If I had multiple, I would put one of three, my next one would be two of three, and my last one would be three of three as an example. I'll select the project type, enter data in the required fields. And the last field that's required is the contact phone number. Now that I've filled out all the required fields, I'm allowed to finish, and I'll click the Finish button. I'm provided with an opportunity to save my document. Again, I can print or download. I'm just going to close. And I'll close the finished document. Now that the PHA staff's tasks are complete, it's time for the executive director to complete their piece. And again, once the PHA staff has clicked the Finish button, the executive director should receive an email notification inviting them to complete the document in their inbox. I'll browse out to there and I see the email, and I will click on Review Documents. Click Continue. The notification about the shared fields that are editable, I'll click Continue. Again, there's an optional attachment field in case additional supporting documents need to be attached to this application. If not, I'll scroll through and see what I need to complete, which again is a certification box that's required and an electronic signature. And like last time, I'll use the Save signature. Now I'm finished. I'll click the Finish button to submit it to HUD. I don't need to save a copy of my document, so I'll click Close. And close my completed document with signature and any attached documents. And my process is finished. The agreement has been signed successfully. With both the PHA staff and executive director completing their tasks, I should expect that DocuSign will send an email notification indicating that the process is complete. And I see it here in the inbox with the completed application attached and the supporting documentation in PDF form and a confirmation that your document has been completed. That'll be your confirmation that your PHA has successfully sent your application to HUD. Thank you for watching this video, and we hope that the information shared today will be helpful to your PHA in successfully submitting a HAP set-aside and/or special fee funding application via DocuSign.